We cannot wait, Tribune.
He will come. He will...
We cannot wait any longer, Tribune.
He will come! He will come. I've sent for him, and he will come.
If you wish us to keep you alive, we have to go to work now, Tribune. Do you understand?
Take the legs off me. Not yet. Not till I've seen him. I don't receive him with half a body. Told you, Drusus. I told you. Here he is. Triumph complete, Judah. The race won. The enemy destroyed.
I see no enemy.
What do you think you see? The smashed body of a wretched animal. There's enough of a man still left here for you to hate. It goes on. It goes on, Judah. The race. The race is not over.
You sent for me?
I hope I bring you a good conclusion to your victory. I have a message for you from the consul, your father.
I honor him.
As you may honor yourself, you have been made a citizen of Rome. Do you say nothing to this?
I have just come from a valley of stone, where my mother and sister live what's left of their lives. By Rome's will, lepers, outcasts without hope.
I have heard this. There was great blame there, very deeply regretted.
Their flesh is mine, my Lord Pilate. It already carries Rome's mark.
Messala is dead. What he did has had its way with him.
The deed was not Messala's. I knew him well before the cruelty of Rome spread in his blood. Rome destroyed Messala as surely as Rome has destroyed my family.
Where there is greatness, great government or power, even great feeling or compassion, error also is great. We progress and mature by fault, but Rome has said she is ready to join your life to hers in a great future.
There are other voices.
The voice, for instance, of Arius, waiting for you in Rome. He would tell you, if I may speak in his place, not to crucify yourself on a shadow such as old resentment or impossible loyalties. Perfect freedom has no existence. The grown man knows the world he lives in, and for the present, the world is Rome. Young Arius, I am sure, will choose it.
I am Judah Ben-Hur.
I crossed this floor and spoke in friendship as I would speak to Arius. But when I go up those stairs, I become the hand of Caesar, ready to crush all those who challenge his authority. There are too many small men of envy and ambition who try to disrupt the government of Rome. You have become the victor and hero to these people. They look to you, their one true God, as I called you. If you stay here, you will find yourself part of this tragedy.
I am already part of this tragedy. Return this to Arius. I honor him too well to wear it any longer.
Even for the sake of Arius, I cannot protect you from personal disaster if you stay here. You are too great a danger. Leave Judea. You have my warning.
Before I get back into the subject, you might as well say, I first want to thank YouTube and the film corporations for allowing me to utilize that footage in order to stress a point, very important point. I just want to say that first, because you didn't have to do that, but you did. And I'm happy, very pleased that you did, because I'm just not doing this for myself. You know, like I said, my YouTube channel, it's all about healing and restoration. So I just wanted to express my appreciation for that. Now, the reason why I'm continuing on this subject is because I was sitting up and I was looking at Ben-Hur again. And there's another very important point that I want to help express and bring it into the current times. You know, when Judah and Messala were children, they became best friends. Now, Judah, he remained home and he didn't go into the military. Now, Messala was his best friend, and he went into the military, you might as well say. He had joined the Roman army, the Roman Empire. His father was, I believe he said he was like a general, or what we call today an area commander in that same region, which was his home. And so when Messala came back, and him and Judah got back together as friends, Messala had changed his whole viewpoint on life itself, because he had spent so much time in the Roman Empire, and he fought so many wars, and he had exposed himself to a whole lot of bloodshed and tyranny, you might as well say. Now, by Judah remaining home, he further explored the spiritual and religious and the self-observation of life. And so as Messala went into the Roman Empire and he grew in that particular area, Judah also grew in his particular area of self-development. Now, by them being separated, growing in their particular personal areas, they were to come to find out, once they rejoined with one another, even though Judah had expressed how he didn't agree with Rome and their tyranny and their subjugation and everything that they had imposed on the land. Obviously, Messala and Judah had different personalities after time, and therefore principalities in which clashed. And so when they met one another again, they were expecting one another to cooperate with one another because of their past of being best friends. And so once they realized, especially Judah had realized, that Messala had changed inwardly because of his exposure to the military, the Roman military. He had changed. And so they tried to maintain their friendship. And so there was a strain, you know, they were trying to regroup together. However, in their journey of human development by way of the environment, they had different principalities. And so they ended up clashing. And so due to the fact that Messala was in a much better power position physically, due to the fact of an accident that happened, Messala had took advantage of that accident that transpired by way of some loose bricks on top of Judah's home that fell down and injured one of his soldiers. And so even though it wasn't done purposely, Messala had used his present power position, and he pretty much, I would say, he used his power to hurt Judah and threw him on the Roman slave ship. And that's how Judah got there. And he threw Judah's mother and sister into the galleys of Rome. And then after that, they caught what is called today as leprosy. Back in the day, people who had leprosy were considered lepers. And so they had to separate them from the rest of society, because leprosy is like a skin disease, and it's equivalent to cancer and all of those things. And so they had to separate them from the rest of civilization into these caves so that they wouldn't be able to affect other people, infect other people. So I need to speak this up because I really need to make an important point. And so after Judah was liberated from his condition, he came in contact with Messala again. And so as time went on, they ended up challenging one another in a chariot race, in which Messala has suffered a terrible accident by falling up under the wheels of his chariot, and it drug him, and it caused him terrible injuries. So after the race, Messala was in there he was in the medical area, and he was being treated by his doctors. And they saw Messala's leg injuries as terrible, so they was getting ready to amputate his leg. And he said, no, not yet. See, because Messala knew that he was dying, but he knew Judah's current state of heart, because he knew that Judah wanted revenge on Messala. Now, the key words is Judah's current state. I'll put it like this: his current state of mind. But due to the fact that, in spite of what Messala did to him and his family, he knew Judah's heart. And so he told his doctors, no, he's going to come. I know that he's going to come. And the reason why he knew that he was going to come, whether he realized it or not, is because he knew Judah's heart. But all at the same time, he knew that Judah in his mind wanted revenge on him because of what he caused in his life. And so as they was getting ready to cut his leg off, because they say, no, if we don't do this right now, Messala, you're going to die. And as they was getting ready to cut his leg off, Judah shows up. And now Messala says, you see, I knew that he would come. And that's the footage that I put before, in which speaks for itself. I'm going to speak on it anyway. And so, as he came in, as you saw on the footage, he said those words. And the reason why Judah said, I see no enemy. Now, whether Judas realized it or not, his healing started right there. But that's a different type of healing. That's a healing of the mind. Because Judah wanted revenge. He wanted revenge, and he wanted to defeat Messala. He wanted to not only defeat him publicly by winning the chariot race, but when he saw that Messala had suffered all of those injuries, he wanted, due to him wanting revenge, intellectually, that was satisfaction to him. But why did Messala says, you see, there he is. I knew he would come. Not only did he know that Judah would come because of the beauty of his heart, he also knew that Judah would show up because he knew that he wanted revenge in his mind. And so he figured intellectually that Judah wanted to see him suffer. But when Judah came in, and intellectually he looked down at him, and he was satisfied because he felt as though he deserves where he is right now. And so I'm getting a sense of satisfaction. And so he's getting a sense of satisfaction, but what he didn't realize, his anger has started to diminish. And so then he looked at him and said, I see no enemy. And so after Messala passed on, suddenly what was in the heart started transmitting shame to Judah's mind. And so Judah walked out there and he looked at the area in which they have the chariot races. Suddenly, it hit him. Was all of this worth losing my best friend? And then he realized it wasn't worth it. My anger, my lust for revenge, it didn't do anything but create both of us monsters. That's what happened. And so he went to Pontius Pilate. And they talked, you saw it, and you heard his words, that pretty much Roman Western culture turned his best friend into a monster. Now, even though back on the Roman ship, he saved the other guy's life, you know, the general's life, and they became very close. The guy took him in as his own son, gave him a ring, due to the fact that Judah is no longer thinking anymore, and he's opening up his heart. His heart is speaking now. You know, it's like Yeshua had told Judas, open your heart, Judas, not your mind. Open your eyes and your heart. So Yeshua was basically saying perception should come from the heart, not the mind, because the mind is in conflict with revenge and all of those things that are self-destructive intellectually as well as spiritually. And in time, if you hold on to those things, it's going to filter down to the soul. And when it's time to leave this planet, or whatever they call Judgment Day, and these things are, you're going to have to face those things. You're going to be judged for those things. And so Judah had ended up giving Pontius Pilate back the ring of the man who took him in as a son after he saved his life. And he said, I honor him too much to carry this, because his heart spoke and it put his mind in a whole nother place. So he didn't want to be a deceiver or a hypocrite towards the man who embraced him as his son. And so he understood after it was all said and done, Messala did not create himself. He had a father who was in the Roman government. And so not only was he under the influence of his father consistently, he made a conscious choice as well. And it served him an untimely death. Now on Judah's side, Messala's betrayal towards him put a rage and lust for revenge inside of him. And after all that happened, he still lost his best friend, because his best friend was turned into a machine. And so when it was all at the end, was it all worth it? And see, this is the reason why the Creator says, vengeance is mine, not yours. This is the reason why the Creator is basically telling you, wait, like in Psalms 37, wait on the Lord and do good, so thou shalt dwell in the land. So this is why you have to be careful when you experience situations of when someone betrays you. And one of the reasons why you have to go through a healing period to determine if you're going to continue a friendship or a partnership with someone, that healing time is very important. It's very important. This is why you need your space, because it's very important to allow what is in your heart guide the healing and not what is in your mind. This is the reason why you have to tell them, I can't talk right now, because if we talk right now, my healing is going to be contaminated, because now we're here. We're going back and forth with one another. And I don't want to go back and forth, because the only thing that's going to happen is we're going to end up arguing with one another, because you're going to be denying things, you know, those type of things. And so I would rather listen to my heart while I'm going through a process of healing, the time element of healing. So this is the reason why I distance myself from people who I feel betrayed me, because that will turn into an intellectual conflict, because the person who betrayed regrets it the same way that Judah regretted it after Messala had passed away. And unfortunately, they both were not able to sit down and talk to one another and resolve their differences after the healing time had passed. This is the reason why I tell a lot of people, allow people time to heal. Don't interfere in their healing. Don't do it. If they say, not now, respect that, because it's going to be beneficial to you both. While it's fresh, it's not a good time to try to resolve it, because it could go left. It really could go left. It really could go bad. And so that time of silence away from one another, that could determine if the friendship or the partnership is going to survive, especially the one who felt betrayed. Allow them time to heal. Now, if you're dealing with someone who is constantly walking around thinking about what transpired. Constantly having people around them. Man, if I was you, I would never in my life speak to him again. The heart tells you, yeah, but you're not me. And your suggestions, I would never speak to him again. That's how he made you feel, and you chose the mind instead of the heart. That's how that works. And so I chose what's in my heart. Now, even though this healing time has not ended, I know that it's going to be beneficial to both of us because I've chosen to listen to my heart and not my mind. See, anger, disappointment, all of those things are recorded in the mind, and it taps into our emotions. We have these images that are always exaggerated. They are always exaggerated. Let's just be honest. Those images in our minds are always exaggerated. And sometimes what we see is not so. Always listen to your heart. Always listen to your heart. Because when you listen to your heart, the Creator will guide you to make better conclusions and to make better decisions that's going to either preserve the friendship or adjust the friendship to the point to where at the end, at least there's no hatred of one another. So what's going on in your heart is much better, and you should listen to your heart. You know, this is the reason why you hear so many Christians say, God knows my heart. Now, a lot of people abuse that, but that's pretty much what it means. God knows your heart. Our minds are corrupted. Our minds record what happened, the betrayal. And if we keep going by, he betrayed me and he this and I feel like this, see feelings. I feel like this, I feel like that. What you're doing is causing, you're causing yourself mental illness. Let's just say that. You're causing yourself mental illness. The healing is here. The healing is not here. The conflict is here, but the healing is here. The wisdom, everything is here. But Judah didn't realize that until it was too late. It was too late. His best friend had died. And we were out here on this chariot racing one another because of the culture. See, so obviously the culture in Rome didn't consist of people sitting down discussing their distinctions. Spiritual, the political. This is one of the reasons why they tell you on the job front, it is best, and not only on the job front, it is best not to discuss religion and politics, because religion and politics have been the primary tools of divisiveness in this society as it is this day. So what we're going to have to understand is the power of the heart and the power of that element of time of where one needs to heal. Heal from what? The effects of the mind and the choosing of allowing the heart to intervene and heal you and guide you in opposition of what the mind is trying to tell you what to do. The heart is always better to listen to, always. Because you're not going to get any peace listening to the mind, because you saw Judah standing there looking out there at the chariot area. He wasn't at peace. He was still angry. And after all of that, he still didn't have peace until he went to Pontius Pilate and he handed him that ring, which implied, I'm letting go of all of this because it cost me my best friend. It cost me my best friend. And therefore, it wasn't worth holding on to the anger and holding on to the revenge. And so, what he said to Judah at the bottom of the Roman slave ship maintains to be a lie. Hate makes you stronger. It keeps a man alive. No, it doesn't. It kills him. It destroys him on the inside. That's what it does. So I make this video, y'all gonna have to excuse me with this shirt because when I bought this shirt, I was heavier. And so when I got back to Las Vegas, I got back into the gym because I'm a trainer down at Top Rank, and I go to the gym a lot because I like to spar. And so I've been losing a whole lot of weight because when I was homeless not too long ago, living out of my car, I gained about 30 pounds. And so I'm in the process of getting my body back in shape because I still want to make that 105. I still want to make that 105. So I wanted to make this video right quick. And again, I want to express my thanks to YouTube and the Film Corporation for allowing me to utilize the footage in order to express this very important point. So always listen to the heart, because the heart is where peace, humility, and rationality is here. It's not here. Continue to give a person time to heal from the mind so that their heart will be a better guidance tool. Because if you interfere in their healing, you're just going to be here. And so by me understanding that I need time away because I know myself as a person. When I feel betrayed, I don't mind communicating on the fact that I don't like it, because that's who I am. However, when I go into meditation and allow myself to be led by the Spirit, and I'm shown things of myself, and enlightenment comes due to the fact that I listen to my heart more so than my mind, then I always am blessed with better conclusions on how to move forward in peace and humility. Because unless you do what's in the heart, you're not going to have any peace. And that's why when people betray one another, and the primary person who did all of the betraying, this is the reason why this person wants to come and communicate with you, because now they feel bad about what they did, because now they're listening to their heart. Because I've gained what I wanted, but I don't have any peace. And just keep in mind, those people who allowed you to get there without proper investigation of someone else in whom you talked against, they just took your side of the story. They was evil all at the same time, and they put you there. But they're very much at peace, but you're not. So you just have to be careful. So I'm pretty certain that I've missed some points that I wanted to make, but see, what it is people allowing different areas of living to change them from being a human being into monsters. Simply because you were in the military doesn't mean that you're better. Simply because you're in a certain religion and its culture, that doesn't make you better either. Because you are able to be turned into that military mindset, or let's say this Western mindset, and it corrupted Judah the same way it corrupted Masala. And that's what got them both racing against one another. It's something about death and the effects of it. When you see your best friend or someone die right in front of you, and you were angry at them, and you felt like, I need to see this person die before me, so that this person won't have any reason to hurt me. They won't have the capacity to hurt me ever again, because their organism has ceased. And therefore, the mentality in which they had is no more functioning. Is it worth it in the end when this person is gone? No, it's not. Now, some people will go to their grave with their evil. Because I had a dad like that. He'd go to his grave with that evil. Well, David, how did you deal with that? I separated myself from him. Because I knew that he wasn't willing to resolve his differences in order for him and I to resolve ours. I mean, you know, that's just like when the Creator kept sending his servant in and out of Sodom and Gomorrah to help him understand why he was getting ready to destroy the city. And the Creator said, because the condition in their heart was not going to change, he destroyed Sodom and Gomorrah. And he wanted his servant to understand why. If you can find 50, then I'll save the city. And he went all the way down to number 1. If you can find one person that's righteous, then I'll save the city. He couldn't find not one. And so he destroyed Sodom and Gomorrah. What is equivalent to that is the Creator knew that their hearts were not going to change. The heart was not going to change because what was in their mind had contaminated the heart and went in harmony with what was in their minds. And therefore, they were no good. The people were no good. And the Creator said, okay, you got to get your ass off my planet. And so he wiped them all out. So when people are irredeemable, and when you recognize that they are not going to change, you have to separate yourself from them. You have to separate yourself from them. Because if every time you come in contact with them, they burn you like a fire, you have to stay away from them. You have to stay away. So, with all of this being said, I just wanted to deal with those areas and explain a few things. Like I said, I know I most likely missed some things, but I just wanted to go over that right quick. And I have to go because I have to start getting myself ready for work. And I hope you guys enjoyed the video. I hope you got something out of it. And if you would like, just go ahead and like and subscribe if you choose to. And with all of that being said, everybody stay human and everyone have a very good evening. Peace.